All right, we are in the Southern Safari Tournament. We're in the opening round of the rookie division. We're on the back 9, and I'm just checking out. I'm doing some scouting here that I don't ever do in the weekend round because I just want to play my round in the weekend round. So like where are the scores at? And kind of like what I thought is like -30 is like this is where it starts. And so if you shoot a -30, you're going to get caught up in a tiebreaker. At least in my bracket, you're going to get caught up with a shitload of people in tiebreakers. So you're going to have to shoot +30 in order to be in the hunt. And I really think if somebody's on their game that, you know, like we want to, like my goal is I'm looking for +34. I think there's 10 shots out there that we can pick up. And then the other 4, there's still some shots on them. But like, and that's just because of the competition. Like, I have to try and keep up with the Joneses, and so my goal is -34. We have 4 people here that haven't started yet that shot 15s in the opening in the qualifier, and the person who shot this 14, the last person down here, they got an Albion hole number 2, which is a really tough hole to get an Albion. So they got a little lucky with getting that Albion on that hole and didn't get hole number 2. This kind of picked them up. So there's people down here that are capable. I've played these holes enough that on every single hole over the years I've picked up a shot, and to put a round together where you try and pick up, you know, 5 in a round, it's possible on this course. Here we go. All right, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I have no idea where I am. I shot video for a minute and 50 seconds, so here we go. We are on hole number 10. What are we doing? What is hole number 10? I did not get it on the front, and I should have paid attention to my notes. My shot was too far on the inside, and I got caught up right here on this tip. I can't remember if I was in the sand or in the rough, but I was right there on the tip. I think I was in the rough. I just needed a little bit more separation here. Originally I was at 4.5 rings, and I put on my notes 5 rings, and when I got out there I hedged my bet and I did 4 3/4, and it still wasn't enough. I want to run through this zone. It might actually be 5 and a little, but we're making it this time. That is it. Bag number 1. And I tried my big topper on hole number 9, but I actually think I net more yardage with the APOC. Let's see here. Bring in a power 3 ball with 3 side spin. That ball is called a Kingmaker. Heartbreaker. There we go. I'm doing +10 on the drive, so 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.2 per ring. Let's make sure my notes are good. Okay, 5 rings off. I'm not even going to dick around with that. I'm going to go 5 rings off. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to do anything. 1 less than max topspin. One less than max topspin. Alright, here we go. 1 less than max topspin. 5 rings off. 3.2. It's 3.03 rings. You turn my grid on. There's 3.03. Max curl. One ring grade on the right. If I'm in the right spot, that might not kill me. I might just bleed through it, but I might overshoot it. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa down. Whoa. I want to set that shot up so that when it's going through that air, it's got the sand trap right here, and it's got the stuff behind the green. that if I hit a great to the right, a perfect, or a great to the left, I've got a zone there. And I've been writing right on this zone, so I've been trying to push it out into the fairway. 5 rings. A great to the right works. I need to turn my damn grid on. And I need to do that right now. Right now. I have no idea what happens on their side. All right, I'm in the zone where if I hit it perfect, it's going in. We'll see. We'll see where I'm at. I gotta be like quarter club. Yeah, there's Max way out there, so I'm deep into it. Three, 5. All right, here we go. Oh, and I hit it great. It still might go in though. Woo! In the hole. Geez, in the hole on a great. I was trying to set that up so that I might catch a great on either side. It was pretty close. So if there's some people out there that haven't played with a rapier before, don't have a rapier, and are wondering like, why are you running the topspin? If you got max club, you got minimum club, here's your mid, and you're using a wedge. A wedge is different than there's only 3 clubs in your bag that are like this, that can hit from their 0, like 1 inch in front of them out. Your wedge, your sand wedge, and your rough iron. And so the closer you can get your ring set to you, so like if here was your max club, and let's say the pin was at mid, which in this case it was, and then we've got minimum, like the closer I can get my ring set to me, so that from the first bounce, that distance is so small that we can start to take the shot out of the wind. And as you pull it back towards you, watch your ring set will get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, so that you get to that point where you could hit a 1 ring or a 2 ring great on either side and it still might go in. That one was definitely not at the point where you could hit anything 2 rings, but alright. Maybe that helped. Maybe. Most of you are out there going, dude, everybody knows that. Everybody. Hole number 2. Alright, hole number 2, in my opinion, is the toughest hole on the course, and it's the one that's going to eat people's lunch, and we don't want to be in that group. So I don't mind being in the rough or the sand up here because I can recover. But we don't want any trouble back in this area, so we're going to bring out a power 5 ball, and we're doing a bounce over from here, getting over. So we've got to watch this first bounce. The difficult part on this shot is there's a ridge that runs like this, and this area over here is somewhat flat, and this area over here rolls down towards that sand. It is possible to be on the center line and drift off and still be in the middle of the fairway, but typically if you're going down there, if your direction was off, like if you hit a 1 ring great to the left or the right, especially if you hit a 1 ring great to the left in this situation, you're going to roll off. The only way that you're not going to roll off is if you didn't have the distance to get down there to begin with. And over here it's just flat. You get caught up in this rough, there's no getting back to the fairway. This isn't one of those areas. It rolls off over here and you're stuck in the rough. So if you're going towards the rough, you're going to be. So you got a very small window here. So it's very easy to end up in the rough. This is definitely a hole on the weekend round. If you've got this hole dialed into the cup, this is definitely a hole on the weekend round that you might want to think about a precision ball. It depends on your game. If you're just trying to recover, then it's not worth bringing out the precision ball. But if you've got really good clubs and you're actually going for it with your rough iron or your sand wedge, it might be worth doing the deal. I am not going to need it. And if I need it, I'm in bigger trouble than the fact that I need it. I'm not going to need the Cataclysm. I need to set up one of these bags. This bag right here, I'm not using a Thor's hammer right now. But there are times when I need this bag. And I've got one with a Guardian, because there's times when I need a Guardian. If I need a Guardian, it might be a thing where I need a Grim Reaper. I need the backspin stuff, so I got a backspin bag. And then I got my utility bag. And this bag is, the rock is getting close to being on the chopping block. I need to really take a good look at it. I'm going to take that bag just in case. I'm going to take a Power 5 ball. I'm going to take a Berserker. Alright, what are we doing here? We're clearing out a slot. That's what we're doing. Being farmers. Hole number 11. Alright. Alright, I'm doing plus 30 to the cup, but on the drive I'm doing plus 10. It's 1.1 times the wind. I go first. The wind is 5. 4.6 rings. One less than max. I want to ride right along that ridge. One less than max. 4.5 rings. There's 4.5. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if I can get down into that zone without getting to the end and just ride the ridge. That is perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Once you start rolling off to the left, man, you had to be on that top ridge line. The top ridge line is forcing you to the right. Not quite as bad, but different, because on the right you're actually kind of gliding a little bit more and it's easy to end up in it. It's a tough shot down there. 30%, 1.3 times whatever the wind is. I'm in my Grizzly, 1 per ring, plus 0.1. 1. And I think I need to do my Grizzly at 0.9 per ring. I'm setting this shot up. I'm going to do my Grizzly where I'm at. Oh, there's max Grizzly. There's minimum Grizzly. Jeez. The minimum Grizzly. What is minimum Grizzly? 1.3 per ring. So it's just the wind, 4.9 plus 0.1, 5 rings. Hitting it perfect. Getting a hole. Oh man, that was close. That was close. Like I did plus 0.1 right there, but that should have been like, I did a 30% adjustment and I was at minimum club, and minimum Grizzly is 1.3 per ring. And so the math worked out to, I was doing a 30% adjustment times the wind divided by 1.3, and the 1.3 and the 1.3 worked each other out, so it's the wind plus 0.1. So I think it was 4.9 and I did a 5 ring pull. Is that what I did? Maybe. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Man, we could dial that in just a little bit. And I'm not sure if it needs to be like a higher percentage or we just need to add on more points. The tough thing there is that like that shot, if you're in the rough, from the rough in the sand there, you have a very similar shot with your rough. If I set this up for the rough bump, then it would really be consistent, because those other clubs, I think the Nirvana might have a problem with the rough bump. I don't think it has enough topspin. it would be better to set it up in front. That way I could do the same shot with all 3 clubs. Because more often than not, I'm in the rough or the sand. That's where a precision ball would come in really handy, because that drive shot, man, if you can set it up like that and hit it perfect, it will go. It will go. All right, hole number 12. I gave myself a look at it, and that is really what I want to do on all of these holes. And this hole right here, really, if you can give yourself a look at it, and even if you don't make it, you gave yourself a look, sooner or later you might sink one of those, and you're just hoping that it's during the tournament. All right. I got lucky. I think I got lucky on this, on the front. I think I ended up getting a birdie, but I missed the rough. And the way the wind was blowing from this direction, I had to pull into that gap, and in order to leave enough room for the wind, I had to start off pretty close to this front line, and I hit a grate to the left, and I just barely missed the rough and went off. I think I was in the rough behind it, but I think I made that shot. Let's not miss the rough. This is which way's the wind blowing on the back? Oh, that wind works much better for us. Much more better. I'm going to take my sniper, and what ball am I taking? I'm taking a 0 power. I'm taking a Navigator. I think I started off with a 0 power ball, but I'm using a Navigator to help cut the wind down because I don't have much. But I think I do have some 1 power low wind ball, so if I do need to make a switch, I'm already in the 1 power for the shot setup. Yeah, let's do a Navigator, excuse me. All right, I'm playing at 1-to-1 plus 0.1, so whatever the wind is, plus 0.1 is what I'm playing. I got the right ball. I got the right bag. Here we go. Just need to hit perfect. This is another hole that a precision ball would come in really handy. And the deal is that if you had where like you bought a bunch of like power 3 precision balls, you could use a power 3 ball on this. I think you just have to set the shot up wherever you're at in your club. I'm not sure where you'd be at as far as that goes, but I just hate giving Playdemic any of my money. I think they're making up for all of us with the signage, and like we need to not necessarily protest, but we're consumers, so like, you know, we can make our feelings known by maybe when they do their reports, maybe some bean counter will be able to talk some sense into the people that decided to put signs out on the course. Hey, if they want to put signs out there and advertise, fine, but they're temporary, they're not in play. So if we came through it, instead of hitting the sign and bouncing off and staying up front, we just go through the sign like the sign wasn't there. It was an illusionary sign, and our ball ends up somewhere, and if it ends up where it's right behind the sign, then we can still hit out from behind it because it's just an illusion. They have other things in the game that are like that. They're called shrubs, so it's not like it's an impossibility. They're making them trees. 2.3 rings. I want to be dead center in the middle of this. .3 rings. There's 2, 3. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. What did I need to do there? I overpulled it by just a little bit. I just needed to hit it 1-to-1 without the +1. 1-to-1. All right. I think that's mid club, and I'm doing 10%. And so it's 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.1 at mid club. So those balance each other out. That's why it's a 1-to-1 shot. And I'm not going to test that because that's where I'm at. But that's what I think I'm doing. So if you test it and you go, dude, you're at mid club, you should be doing. That's why I'm doing that. That's why. That's why. Hey, I am a freaking rookie. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. Yeah, that's not totally true. Hole number 13, hole number 4. All right, we have a shot here. We have to make this. We have to make it. And the way I played it on the front was I brought out a power 5 ball so that I could get up in here, and I put on all the top spin, and I think I put on 1 ring, but my trajectory was going, I was still going over here where it's fat. And you can see, okay, here's how it narrows up. And so this is the narrowest part of the neck. And I am, and I see most people are on this trajectory here, where they're going out here, where their ball has to go farther in order to clear. We're all ending up in the rough right here, and if we look to the left, it's like, you know, it's the widest fairway in the world, and we happen to get caught in the rough. So getting around this bend, I need to start off a little bit more to the left, or excuse me, to the right, so that I can put on a little bit more curl and give myself a little bit of separation on the second shot. I tried to do this straight up where I was just skimming it, where I didn't have a lot of room here. I couldn't put any curl on it, and I was trying to just, and I got exactly what I was looking for. But I think I need to come out a little bit and curve it around. Hold on. All right. Where was I? I've been gone so long that it turned off. Look at that. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Let's think. Where am I? Let's make sure I'm on the right stuff, because this hole we need to make. This isn't a hole like hole number 8, but it's right there. I mean, this fruit is already on the ground. It's already came off the tree. All we have to do is pick it up. Hole number 8 wants to jump in your basket. We got to get this one. Hole number 13. Let me look at my notes here. Make sure I got it all set up since I walked away, so I don't get all flustered when I get out there. Okay, bag number 1. I'm taking a Zerk. I have a Zerk picked. No. Let's do power. Zerk, the Berserker. Be nice if this had more side spin. I think that's my issue. But I don't have a lot of five power balls, and some of these are like super usable on certain holes. Like, you need that ball, so I'm not interested in getting rid of them. Plus 10 on the drive. Plus 10, 1.1 times 1 ring back in, but I almost think I need to put more than 1 ring back in. Like, I gotta watch my bounces. The deal is, I think I have more topspin now than I had before, and I'm putting all of the topspin on, and it's actually making my bounces worse. I was better off if I didn't put all the topspin on. Like, where are my bounces there? Where's my bounce if I put it all on? So I'm getting pretty damn close in that. 4.5 divided by 1.2. 4.12 rings. I can put a little bit of curl on, but not much. And that might have been too much. Like, that's not bad on the first bounce, but on the second bounce, that when it swings around, boy, I just barely missed it. just barely on that second bounce. On the first bounce when it's coming through it, that curl doesn't look too bad, but on the second bounce coming through, it's on the outside on the first bounce and it's on the inside on the second bounce, and man, it is really over there. It's like twice as much on the second bounce. And everybody knows what I'm talking about because you've been on those greens where you've been doing curl to get on the green and you were just using like a couple tosses. So you're recovering with your rough iron and maybe you're using a little bit of backspin or something and you go to get the curl on there and you think you have lots of room, but that second bounce had lots of room, but curl goes wild. All right, I still have some work to do. Whew. Got it done. I don't like those. I don't like where you're holding your ring set over here and the shot's going like this to do it and the needle's over here doing its thing and not squared up with you. Never liked that maneuver on here. I like being squared up with my shot. That's brutal. All right. Hey, good luck in the tournament. I'd say good game, but they don't want to hear any of that shit. I'm not keeping track of my score, so I'm just playing. So I have no idea where I'll end up or where I'm at, like what trajectory I'm on right now. I'm not going to pay attention to it. My caddy would be paying attention to it, and if I wanted to know, I'd ask them, but I'm not. I'm focused. All right, on this hole right here, I got a grizzly and a katana. I think I'm going to bring out a Titan because I'm not using any backspin, but I'm going to bring out a Titan because I want to set the shot up. I want to have a little bit more leeway in front of me with the shot because I think with the katana I'm like right on the edge, and I think my club, the Grizzly, hits with a power 3 ball. I've got pretty good numbers for it, so that's what I'm doing. That is what I am doing. So I'm taking a Titan. Did I pick a Titan? Did I pick it? Titan, the king of balls, and a Grizzly. Here we roll. 1.25. I was doing a 15%, but I wasn't pulling it enough, so I'm going to do a 25%. Actually, what I'm going to do is a 15%. Which is what I was doing before, but I'm going to do it at 0.9 per ring times the wind divided by 0.9. Times the wind of 2.8 divided by 0.9. +5 mark. Let's get where I can see what the hell's going on. We got 5 backspin. At the +5 mark. Went right at it. 357. Here's 357 exactly. Hitting it perfect. It still underpulled it. I was doing it at 1 per ring. So divided by 1 would be 3.22. 0.9. So instead of adding on, okay, let me stop. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what I was doing here as I was doing that shot and trying to keep track so I could make some notes here. We could talk about it and I can look at it and now I can see what I did. So I know where to work. And so I was shooting that hole with a plus 15% times the wind divided by 1 minus 0.1 is how I was doing that shot. I made this shot with that equation in a past tournament. So I'm not sure like what all's changed here, but like my club, I'm not pulling it enough. So instead of adding on to this and making it plus 25, I started hitting it out where the club is actually at. And where the club is actually at is plus 15 times the wind divided by 0.9 minus 0.1. And this 0.9 is making it a bigger adjustment. So if I'm going to have to make a change off of this 15, I'm going to start with where the club is actually supposed to hit. So that from this point forward, if I come back on this hole and I figure this number out on this hole, I'll know that I was hitting it at where the club was supposed to hit. That's what the deal was on that. That was the brain fart that I had right there. Sorry about that. I got caught up in it. So I'm going to make a note here on my notes. I'm going to start hitting that hole at 0.9 per ring. And I still didn't pull it enough right there with the 15, so I'm going to do a plus 20. And I'm going to take out the minus. I'm just going to do a straight up plus 20. All right. And I'm going to erase the katana on there, and I'm going to play that with a tight. And it truly was 5 backspin. Hole number 15, I got some good notes on that hole. That hole is not a hole that I get a lot of hole-in-ones on, but I have made hole-in-ones on this before. But if I can give myself a good shot at it on the weekend round, then I'm interested in having at least 2 solid shots at it. I don't normally make it, so if I don't make it, nothing's changed. But hey, if I can make it, that's awesome. Hole number 6. Hole number 15. All right, we got a shot on this. I think I made this on the front. I did. I made it with this shot. And I'm going to take an APOC, and I'm going to take my number 1 bag, and I'm going to take a Kingmaker Heartbreaker. And this would definitely be a shot to have a precision ball on in the weekend round. I don't know if I have any 3-power precision balls, but they would be. I do have a few as in 2. This is definitely a hole that if I can hit this perfect right here and I get another drop, this would definitely be worth bringing them on the weekend round. All right, on the drive, I'm not using the wind, and I'm doing 10%. So 1.1 times, I need to write that down, plus 10 on the drive. Here we go. 1 less than max topspin. Take the wind out. My notes say 385 to 390 is like the ideal range. And I'm really not trying, I don't think that I'm trying to get like all the way down in there. I'm being pretty conservative here to try and find a good spot. All right, 1 less than max topspin. .1. It's 2.84 rings. 2.9 rings. Let's hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Just bleed it out there. Okay, we're plus 30 times the wind divided by trying to see here. There was a bunch of these holes when these that I used to play with this Grizzly at 1 and it worked it out, but I think I did a 0.9 per ring here. Divided by 0.9 plus 0.1. Jeez. That right there works, my friend. That works. With a Marlin. I got a rough bump that I could do right here if I brought a Goliath. And it's actually, from where I'm getting, it's not a bad shot. 3 rings off. Just rolling out to the cup. 2.6, 3.85 rings. There's 1, 2, 3, 8, 5. Hitting it perfect. Dead center perfect. Let's see if we can get a... Come on. No, I ain't getting that. No. I did the same thing I did on the front, and I did the plus 0.1, and right there, if I'd have just hit it straight up with no additional 0.1, that'd have been in the hole. Chasing it. Chasing it. Just gonna do the plus 30. Got 0.9 per ring. 0.9 per ring. Let's totally erase some stuff and get down to what we know works. I still didn't write down the distance that I did on the drive, so I have no idea where I was down there, but it puts me in a nice little Grizzly shot right there. And I know that there's a rough bump, but I'm pretty sure you got to bring a Goliath. Pretty sure. You got a lot of options right there. And if you get not much, but maybe just a little teeny bit more to the left of where I was at on my drive, you could open up that tip. That tip's pretty open to me where the sand trap's here and you've got the rough area coming around and my angle coming out. I got pretty good access to this, but if you were over just a little, you could have access to the whole corner. And so you could pull shots down here where you could side spin it, or up here depending on which way the wind was blowing, and you really could work that angle. Where I'm at, it's actually not a bad spot. You can do it from right there. There is a rough bump. That's not typically my cup of tea rough bump, those eye rough bumps like that, but the one thing that's kind of enticing me on that, and I actually probably should go out and practice that hole, is that it widens out just a little bit right there, kind of like a cobra's neck. And so you've got just a little, even though it's only like a half a ring on either side, that little teeny bit, if you were taking a shot in there, gives you that leeway so that if you miss it great to the left or the right, you're still in the rough. Hole number 16. Hole number 16. What is hole number 16? Hole number 7. What is hole number 7? Ah, all right, we have a serious shot right here. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Jeez, there was a millisecond for you. Like, were you gone, guy? Where did you go? I was gone forever. All right, what the hell am I gonna do on this hole? I'm actually thinking, no, I'm not gonna change my setup or change like in here, but I am gonna minutely change this area in here, because where it's coming through, I'm getting that spot where, like, if I'm in this spot right here, the ball guide stops right there. And if I'm a blade of grass forward, the ball guide's shooting off, and I'm too far through the cup. And I think if I move just a little bit closer up here, it can move this shot a little bit closer, and I can tighten that up a little. and I think I'm actually starting off in the wrong spot. So it's hard to make an adjustment here because like you can't zoom in. You know, you're doing your adjustment from back here as opposed to being able to zoom in where you can really take a look at it. Hold on. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm expecting. I have 2 packages coming today that I have to sign for. And if I don't sign for them, then I gotta go to their office and pick them up. And I'd rather sign for them when they bring them today. So that's why. And if I get caught in between, my wife is now back home, so she can go out there. But if I am on a hole, I guess I'll have to go down there and pick them up. I can do it in the in-between things like this, but not while I'm on the hole. Hole number 16. Okay. I'm going to bring my number 1 bag with a Navigator. Navigator. Thank you, baby. All right, select. I'm doing 60% to the cup. And I think I'm going to switch this one over as well. I'm going to switch all these holes over. I hate to do that because I haven't hit a perfect into the hole, but I'm going to do the 0.9 per ring. Times the wind divided by 0.9 per ring, so that I'm on the track that I'm supposed to be on with this club. And so in the future, if I have to make an adjustment, I'm making it from there. All right, here we go again. There is a better spot out there. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna practice this hole one time because I want to find the spot. There's a spot out there. What I need to do is write the spin down. I don't have my spin written down, so that I can put the spin on and go find the spot that works. And that'll help speed up the process. And I know that I'm in the 3.5 ring off range, so I can even speed that process up even more. Let's make sure we're in practice. Should be flashing red. Alright, I go first. And with the Navigator. Where am I first? Let's make sure that I'm counting it right with the Navigator. There's max. There's min. There's mid. So I'm in between mid and max. Or excuse me, mid and min. Excuse me. Max and mid. And that's way up there in that corner. Kind of like it right there. That was 1 backspin and a half a right or a half a left-hand side spin. We'll try that again. I need to get the spin down on this so that I can just come and put that spin on and find the spot. See if my opponent can get up there. Let's see if they're this is where if you're recording your own video and you see somebody out there and they're checking that kind of stuff out, hey, you can go back out there and see what they were doing. You'll be able to figure it out because you got the okay, it was 1 backspin and a half. And it's 2.8, so it's 4.97 rings. So let's say 5 rings. Let's get lined up with the wind. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. Hitting it perfect. And I over pulled it just slightly, and it was going through there just a little teeny bit fast. And I was trying to get a little bit closer to it so that I could get over those little moguls that are down there so that my ball guide to flatten out and give me a good run to the cup. So I'm going to go down there. I'm going to practice that one more time and drill it with 2 backspin. Do I have enough? I only have 1 practice token. Is it worth it? I'm gonna do it with no. I'm going to go out there and wing it, and then I'm going to have to look at the video. I'm going to wing it. I'm going to go out there and find a spot that works good, and then whatever that spin is, and I'll have to look at it. So I'm still in the setup mode. I'm not sure I liked how fast that came through there. Four, 7-11. Jeez. There's 5, 6, 7, 11. There's probably a slight overpull. Perfect. I think I overpulled that. It looked like it was probably 7.5 instead of 7.11. And I did overpull that, and it's so hard down there to get on the last one. I think the thing I did that helped me was I spun it around so that I was looking up the hill instead of pulling it from this side. And I'm not used to pushing the wind out, but I need to push the wind out on this, because if we spin it around and push the wind out, we're going to get a better angle when we're pushing it up the hill, so that we can be a little more precise, because we're looking down on it, and at the angle we're looking at it, it's hard to see it. Shit, that's as close as you can get. Perfect. I have not made that this week, but there's still time. Still got 2 opportunities. I like this hole, and I mean, it's playing hard to get this week. If I hit that shot perfect, which I can't remember if I did, and that's probably the first perfect that I've hit in this account. And I think I did hit it perfect right here, and I just overpulled it. Just barely. But I think I was supposed to pull it. It was supposed to be 7.1, and I think I pulled it 7.5. So that was a big overpull. Dang it. I still haven't hit that right. Hole number 17. Okay, we have to get this hole. There's just no two ways around it. Alright, hold on one second. Alright, the medical equipment guy. Somebody else. What do I need here? I need my number 1 bag. This is APOC or bust and a Kingmaker. And I think I figured out, so from the last time we played this hole to this time, I went from an APOC 6 to an APOC 7, so I've got more topspin now. So I'm trying to figure out the topspin to get it just right. Alright, what am I doing here? I've got 1 3/4 less than max topspin at the plus 16 mark. 1.5 right hand side spin. Plus 10 on the drive. 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.2. Selected. Got the right club. Got the right stuff. Here we roll. I got Jason, the $ Jason. He takes tips. All right, Jason, let's both get on and get our eagles and roll. We need to get an eagle. We have to get an eagle. You need me on this wall. We are not putting the wind back in. We are trying to do this shot straight up. This is a 100% setup shot, and if there was a headwind day, we'd bring out a bigger ball so we could work the wind out. And my opponent got it just right. That, my friends, is nice. Nice. Let's see if we can do the same damn thing. 2.1. 1.92 rings, so let's say 1.9, 1.5, 1 3/4. I think I should be doing 1.5 and 1 1/4. Right there. 2.1, 1.92 rings. My angle's a little sloppy there, but that's all right. Hitting it perfect. I did 1.5 last time, and I came in still. I just caught it to roll down there. I ended up in almost exactly the same spot, but I just caught it to roll it down there. And so I took off. I think I did 1.5 less than max last time, and I did 1 3/4 less than max this time. Nice. We need this eagle. You need to have some shot set up so that you go there, and like I know that like that shot, if it's on any tailwind or pure sidewind day, I can use power 3 ball. If it's on headwind day, I have to use power 5 ball, and I can do the same setup. And I'd probably do on a headwind day, I'd probably do like plus 20 just to make sure that the wind wasn't pushing me down, and bring out a power 5 ball so that you've got room. Pull back to the plus 16 mark, and then you've got room. Set it up, man. We have to get that. That's just part of the minimum score. All right, the last hole here, and I need to hit this shot into the cup perfect to see what the deal is. So I was with my sniper taking off 15%, and I'm not so sure I shouldn't be taking off more. More than 15%. But I have not hit it into the hole perfect with the grizzly yet. So there is a rough bump. There is a grizzly rough bump from out here that you can do. And last time on the front, I brought out, the question on the front was like, which club's going to hit farther, my APOC or my big topper. The big topper's 10 yards less at level 8. It hits 10 yards less, but it hits 12 topspin farther. And I feel like I got out there farther with my APOC. And I'm going to bring out a Kingmaker just in case I need the side spin for the rough bump. No, I'm going to bring out a Berserker because we're trying to get all the way up there. All the way. And I'm doing plus 10 on the drive. So 1.1 times the wind. And I think I'm using the wind. So if I need to, I'll take the side wind out and then push the forward wind back in. Times the wind divided by 1.2. Hey. I turned that off so that when the guy's coming in and out. But I'm waiting for the UPS guy. We have all kinds of stuff going on this Thursday. Eaglemeister. Hey, the Eaglemeister. Big balls. Now, normally I would just bring out a power 3 ball and I wouldn't even use any overpower. I would just bring out, even if you just brought out your big topper and you get out here, you got a perfect rough bump with your sniper. But I am done taking that shot. You go at it and see if you can get it to work for you, because it doesn't work. I'm in the right spot, but it just doesn't work. So I'm going to see if I can get in my long iron range. And it looks like my opponent is also trying to get into their long iron range. 460 yards. If you just lay it up out there, you're at 400. 2.9, 2.65 rings. .65. There's 265. Let's push the forward power back on. Two rings great to the left. I should have plenty of room all the way down on the left. It just takes me farther away from the cup on the second shot. On the right, I'd be rubbing the edge if I hit it 2 rings great on the right. My opponent's got a Grizzly, and they got a topspin boost ball. That's why they got in front of me. That explains it. Alright, I've been doing plus 15 or minus 15 to the cup, so 0.85. Like I said, I'm not so sure it shouldn't be 0.8, like 20% less. 0.8 times the wind divided by wherever I'm at in my club. I'm in my Grizzly. I got numbers here for my Grizzly. Let's get the wind out of the way. 2.6 divided by where am I at in my club? There's max. There's min. I'm eking min club. So minimum Grizzly is 1.3. I'm like 5 rings out. 1.6 rings. Hitting it perfect. I'm not sure I moved the ring set there and I didn't move the course. And that was close. That was like plus 0.1. Close, close. I took off 20 instead of 15, and that cost me. I needed to add a little teeny bit of wind back on. Let's see how big of a difference that would have made. It would have only made a plus 0.1, and I was probably plus 0.2 or damn. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I do this thing with my sister with times, and it's 1:14. So I texted her 13, 14, 15. So it's 1:14, 15 seconds after. I'd have to walk you all the way through it. Hole number 18 in the bag. So the 30, I'm telling you, if those 30s are just going to get you caught up in a bunch of tiebreaker shit. So I got lucky. I came in with the 15 and I shot the 30. So I have good tiebreakers. But the deal is that everybody up here, and I don't know what the person in first has. So what's the difference here? They got a 16 in their qualifying round, so everybody up here, and I will tell you that there's somebody down in 47th place that has the opportunity. They just shot, you know, if they've made it on every hole in this tournament. If they put a round together, they could snap themselves all the way up to the top. But I'm going to say that you're going to have to shoot at least a 31 in order to stand alone, if not a 32. And I'm trying to get a 34, so like I'm 4 shots off. I missed hole number 1 on the front. That's a shot that I definitely want to pick up. I got number 8 on both sides. We have to get that one. And in my opinion, we have to get hole number 4 on both sides. And I got lucky on the front. I think I hit it out of the rough. I think I was in the clear on both. I think in the qualifying round I hit it out of the rough. I did pick up an Albie, which is, this should go on top of picking up the 5 that I have lined up. So, I mean, on the front, what are the holes that I'm really focused on? The holes I'm really focused on are 1, 3, and I didn't make either one of those. 4, 7, and 8, and I haven't made 7 on either one. So there's still stuff out there. I did pick myself up on hole number 10 with the got back on track, and then just picked up what I did on the front minus the Albie. All right, there you have it. This is wide open. I really do believe that in the weekend round, because if we can tighten it up and we get just a little bit of breaks, and I will tell you, there's a few of these holes that I'll probably bring out better balls. Like, I haven't brought out any precision balls, but I'll definitely bring out something on the weekend round to try and enhance my odds. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Let's see what's at the top. I think it's going to be a 31. Yep, there we go. 31. Yeah, you'll have to get better. If you want to stand alone, stand above the rest. What separates them? Qualifying round scores. Positions. Footman. Well, what did he get? He got a 15, so what was our separation? Albatross is in the qualifying round. I got you. He got an Albie on hole number 6 in the qualifier. Yeah, it's going to be tight with the 30s. There's going to be a shit ton of people. There's 9 people right here in 30. So, I mean, we still have time in the brackets. I mean, it's Thursday. We still have time. There's going to be a bunch of other stuff up here. I'm not going to be surprised if by the end of tomorrow we're not seeing 32s up here. And, I mean, where are we at right now? We've got less than half the people have actually finished the bracket, and we're already at 9 people at 30. So we're looking at the top 20 is going to be dominated by 30s, and then the top 5 is going to be, probably the top 5 or 6 are going to be 30 plus. So if you get caught up here in these tiebreakers with the 30s, you're in like then it'll be big trouble. You need to stand alone up at the top. And there are two absolute gimme holes. I mean, they're not gimme holes. I mean, you got to work at it. But hole number 8 we have to make. And hole number 4, which is basically the same thing, we have to make this. This one's a little bit tougher because we've got to get through this neck if we can get our angle right. This is where a 5 power bigger side spin ball would come in handy, where you could engage your side spin so that you could start off a little teeny bit more with the 5 power ball. Your red line's out in here. You could start off a little bit more here to give you separation, so that when you put the side spin on, your separation here is not only bigger, but because you started off on the right hand side, when you're putting that side spin on, it's straightening it up so that you're going through the narrowest part of this rough area instead of hitting it at an angle, and lengthening out how far you have to get in order to get out. Shit, you would have been out a long time ago if you'd have been right at the cup. I don't know that I've been just using a berserker, but I think in the weekend round, I'm gonna make a note here on my sheet for hole number. Is this hole number 4? Hole number 4. I'm gonna bring out a 5 power side spin ball and see what I can get. Because with the Zerk I can only get 2 side spin. If I could eke 3, I wouldn't need quite as much topspin because I'd be going through the narrower part. Let's see what I can do on that to enhance my shot. Hole number 1. I gotta stick to my guns. If you've got an upper developed Apocalypse, you can get in this zone 5 rings off of this with max -1 topspin, and it'll go right through the lane where you have a short little pitch to get up there. On the front, I ended up in the rough. I only went out 4 3/4 rings. 5 works. 5 works. Perfect. No overpower. And that's once again one of those things where you're bringing out a 3 power ball and you're right at the red line. But if we had a headwind day, you could take the same shot by bringing out a 5 power ball, pull back to the +16 mark, then work the wind out. You may still have to do a little overpower. You may have to finesse that a little bit, but you wouldn't have to start off in overpower. And depending on how big of a headwind it was, you might not have to do a lot at all, very much at all. The 3 side spin is helpful. You need it. Max curl. Right down the lane. Hole number 2, I just want to get out there. I am trying to give myself a shot at it if I can get out here in the fairway. I think on one of the rounds I ended up in the rough, and the other one I was in the fairway. And if you're in the fairway here, you have a beautiful shot at it. And I think I have the numbers for this shot. I've been able to take this shot a couple times, and if I get in that spot, I at least have a shot at it. But 66% of the time I'm going to end up in the rough or the sand. If I laid it up to right here, I'd have a better shot, but it's kind of hard to bridge the gap and then tighten it up so they just stop. Hole number 3. I haven't made this hole yet, but I am going to make this hole. I'm going to go back and watch my video on it and see which ones that I hit perfect so that I can really, really see what this cup is doing, because that shot is right there. We got to be on and 1 on this one. Making a putt, making a short chip. This is a wondering hole. Like if I make that hole, I'm going to be totally excited, because that'll be total like unexpected. This hole I have a shot, but I'm not counting on this hole. This is the hole right here that can make, like that really kind of picks you up, because I'm not counting on it, but I do have a really good shot. And I've made it at least twice this week. I love this hole, and I have not made it. And we have to make that hole. I think we do have a killer shot here. If I could hit the freaking shot into the cup, perfect. I think we have a shot. All right, there you have it. There you have the Southern Safari. I think I'm ready for the weekend round. I'm going to watch my rounds that I shot today and go through and make a new set of notes for the weekend round that that don't have any like what ifs or whatever, just like the club, the ball's name, how much spin to put on it, so that I can put the spin on and then go find the spot that works and do the thing to help speed it up so that I'm not stressed at the shot clock. I like to let the clock go where it starts off over here, and I like to let it swing past the middle and come back over, and then on its way back up I like to hit it right there. If I'm in a big hurry, I have played this, but I don't usually have it set down here in the circle very well when I do that, because I'm more focused on this than this. But occasionally I will let it go by a few times. I don't usually have time for that. That's the deal. That's the deal. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know what you want me to shoot videos on, if you got a certain tour you want me to play or something. Or if you need help, like if you need help with your clubs, or you're having a problem with the wind ring method, or if you're having problems doing the deal, just let me know, like if there's an issue in it. One of the things I would say is, like, if you're having problems in tournaments, I mean, let me know in the comments and I'll try and shoot videos to help you out on that. Thanks for watching.